The unconscious conditions that appear with pain. Here's a little case study of a person who wasn't aware of some of the things they were doing with the pain, and once they changed those behaviours, they changed the pain. Knee pain with osteoarthritis. Had a man in his 70s who got out of the chair and it hurt his knee, and he believed it was due to osteoarthritis. Now, it's not unreasonable for him to believe that. It's a cultural belief that pain comes with osteoarthritis, pain is due to osteoarthritis, or persistent pain is due to osteoarthritis, but it isn't an absolute truth. There are people with osteoarthritis in their knee, in their back, all over the body without pain, and without pain on movement. Okay? Now, there are people with pain on movement with osteoarthritis, but there are conditions that are invisible in those people. There's a deep-seated belief that the pain is only due to the arthritis and there's nothing that they can do about it. They're a victim of that condition, and there's no criticism in victimhood because everybody's been a victim. It's just if you stay with the belief, you stay in victimhood, and it's unconscious, so you wouldn't blame anybody for doing something that they're unconscious of. So it's compassion that you have to start with. Not run off into, oh my God, you're blaming me. That's more victimhood. Might be addicted to that. Stop or consider a different possibility. So this gentleman has pain in his knee, in his 70s, getting out of the chair, thought there was nothing he could do about it. So as he gets out of the chair, as he stands up, puts his hand on his knee, hands on his knee, he looks to the floor with his eyes and he holds his breath. Now he's unconscious of all three things. So the eyes going to the floor represent fear. Okay, I'm looking for danger, I'm going to fall, fear. Does that make sense? Holding your breath, fear. I don't know what's coming next, I'm not really happy with whatever's coming next and I'm bracing myself for it, and there's a good chance it's pain based on what's happened before when I've got out of the chair. Holding the breath, and hand on the thigh to, I'll see if I can temporarily block the sensation by bracing even more physically. So you've got a visual reaction, a breath reaction, and a physical guarding, and a preemptive thought pattern. So there's 4 conditions that the person's using unconsciously, as well as getting out of the chair, as well as moving forward, as well as loading the leg, as well as the arthritis, as well as the belief, as well as the weather, as well as their age, as well as their weight. Oh my, what, it goes on and on and on. All those other conditions are irrelevant if you change the internal state. Irrelevant. Should be respect the weather, you respect your age, you respect the arthritis. Take away the fear, you won't have the pain. I asked him to do 3 things and we did one at a time. I said, look forward as you get out of the chair. He looked forward as he got out of the chair. The pain was a little less, but it's still on. And he held his breath even more and braced a little bit more in his hands. Now, when you take away somebody's unconscious comfort blanket, they'll try and substitute it with another. So I praised him for looking forward. He did really good, but see if you can just take a few deep breaths first. So you almost have to bank the calmness first. Practice looking forward before you get out of the chair. There's a video on this channel, plenty of references to it. 2 minutes in, 2 minutes. 2 minutes of 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, but just do 3 breaths. So 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. The nervous system cannot be chased by a lion when you're breathing at that rate. It's impossible. You're in the rest and digest state. So as he banks that mechanism, looks forward, controls his breathing, gets out the chair, less pain. Now the last one was the hand on the leg. I said, what are you doing with your hand? He said, I'm putting it on my leg. I said, why? He said, because it's going to hurt. Is it the pain that creates the reaction, or reaction creates the pain? It's always the reaction that creates the pain. Most people in the world feel that pain creates a reaction. It doesn't. It's the reaction that creates the pain, or the reactions. It's now looking forward, now controlling his breath. Just let your hands go to your side. Let your shoulders relax. So you do something physical that swaps the bracing for a physiological calm mechanism. You're teaching your nervous system there's no threat getting out of a chair for a 70-year-old man who believes he's got arthritis, and he does. But you change the conditions through which he prepares to move that joint through, from which he has fear. his identity of losing access to his body. If he's been a strong man, he's always identified with deliverance service, blah 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 blah. Trace it right back to not enough. I am not enough. And the behaviours that become the thing that shows people you're enough eventually start to fade in your life. When they start to fade or you lose access to them, it triggers fear that you are not enough anymore. It's an interesting concept. You were all enough. So he's now looking forward. He's regulated his breath, and he said, if you feel the pain, what's the worst that happens? He's going to get out of the chair anyway. He's doing it now without the fear conditions. He gets out of the chair, he has no pain. He's done it once, he now does it every day, and doesn't even think about it, because he's automated the response. It's much more energy, there's a good chance to live longer, he's less fearful of falling, he's confident in his body. You access an innate ability to move freely when you drop the fear. If you're not aware that you're in the fear state, break it down. How am I thinking? How am I breathing? What am I looking at? What am I anticipating? How am I bracing? And remember, we all have these blind spots. But once they're pointed out, or you start to consider them, and you're open to changing your belief about the pain, or even if you're not open to changing your belief about the pain, changing you and your reactions around it, you can change the pain. This man has no pain in his knee getting out of a chair for the first time in years and years and years. He's doing it all the time. And so can you.